Chizuk from the Parsha, Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parshas B'Shalach. There is so many different beautiful thoughts on this Parsha that are said in previous years. Me'ez will say in the coming years. But I was thinking, what can be something that is going to be most powerful and beautiful to share with our kids at the Shabbos table? In this week's Parsha, the Torah tells us, Ve'oma Paro Livnei Yisrael, Paro is going to say to the Eden, Sogar Alayim B'Midbar, Nevichem Eim B'Oretz, Sogar Alayim B'Midbar, which means the Eden are basically, they're lost. They're in the desert, they have nowhere to go. They are just lost. They're in a maze. They have the sea in front of them, they have nowhere to go, they can't come back. And Rashi said, in Rashi bothers the question, Paro is going to say to the Yiddish Kinder, the Yiddish Kinder are already in the desert. Paro is in Egypt. How is he going to say it to them? So Rashi says he's going to talk about them, but the Targum Yonason tells us something fascinating. Yes, it means to the Yiddish Kinder. Who are they? Dason ve'aviram. The same troublemakers were mentioned so many times in the Torah. First in Parshas Shmos, when Moshe Rabbeinu saw two Yidden fighting with each other, they hitting each other, Vayomer lo Rosher, why do you hit each other? That was the first time. Moshe Rabbeinu calls them a Rosher. The Parsha of the Parsha for the Machloikes of Korach, when they came out against Moshe Rabbeinu. Dosim Aviram were one of the main troublemakers that they came out against Moshe Rabbeinu, against Aman Yisrael. This week, the Parshas Aman, Hashem said, Al Yosiru Memene Ad Boiker, don't have any leftovers from the man and put it away for tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day Hashem is going to give you. Betuch in a minute. There were people who left, they had leftovers, and they did not listen to Moshe Rabbeinu, and they decided they will have leftovers. What those people? Dasam Aviram. Wherever they could not listen, they didn't listen. They did not want to go out from Mitzrayim. They wanted to stay there. Voma Paro Livnei Yisrael, they decided they're not going out with the Eden. Let them go out, we're going to stay here. And here comes the question. Everyone that wanted to stay in Mitzrayim died in Marcus Choshech, or died in Mitzrayim. Why did they live? Not only did they live, they chased the Eden. When Paro in the Mitzrayim jumped into the water, they got drowned. And when Dosim Aviram came to the ocean, twice it's mentioned in this week's Parsha Kriyas Yamsef, the ocean split it again, especially for those two people. Why is that? And Chazal tell us that Dosim Aviram were one of the police officers the Paro appointed at the time when he came with a decree that they're not getting any more hay to make the cement to build Pisah Ramses, and they have to come up with the same amount of cement every single day. And he appointed police officers on top of them, and if they could not accomplish the same amount of cement, the police officers were getting beaten. But Dosim Aviram, after all the trouble that they did, they still had a Yiddish heart, and they saw the pain of the Eden. And their job was to beat up the Eden that they cannot come up with the right amount of cement. And they didn't beat them up. And they got beaten because they did not bring the results that Paro wanted. And for someone that gets beaten for Yiddish Kinder, those people deserve a Kriyas Yamsef. We live in a world of competition. We live in a world that it's so easy to beat up somebody. It doesn't have to be physically. It could also be verbally. Verbal abuse. But remember, for those who have the Yiddish hearts and they are ready to get beaten, it doesn't have to be beaten by physical, but they are ready to sacrifice and to get beaten for Yiddish Kinder, you deserve a Kriyas Yamsef. Remember when you read the Kriyas Yamsef, what to take out from this week's Parsha. A Yid that is ready to jump in for somebody, is ready to suffer for somebody else, you deserve Kriyas Yamsef, a Gittin Shabbos.